Catholic Church. This is me freaking out. Alright guys, let's take 2 here. So here's the upload for 2/23/2024. So next vacation coming up would be March 14th to the 17th. So change the plans again. We'll be staying in the attic extended stay for 3 nights, March 14th to 17th. Total cost $453.61. Awake and stream and sleep away from home. And might do another in April. Definitely in August with Mr. Bombi. And October with Self. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 hotels this year for streaming. So going forward, we'll be going to Monrovia, California to meet aka Mr. Bombi. He asked me for a dinner date and we'll hopefully to see his apartment, pretend future shopping. And hope we're talking about VC Venture about his live stream to make me a partner, paid partner. So we'll be taking half train, half bus, half Uber to get to Extended Stay America. Check-in will be Thursday, August 8th, 2024. Departure will be Monday, August 12th. The total price for the hotel will be $606.36, as well as the train. And was I did it right? $226 for a round trip. So check me out on YouNow. I have one account now with YouNow. So check me out at younow.com/DerekCurtis_9401 is my hashtag for my account. So please sub me, fan me. If I can get at least 5 subs on that account, I'll definitely do only subs giveaway. And on that account right now, I have 8,643 diamonds. Total cash value is 86 cents. My crown is I need to send 21,039 more likes by February 20th to secure my status. So I'm at my second crown, and so I have 40,000 out of 18,961 to send out. And props, I'm at 28.16 experience to level 74 plus 100 bonus bars. Coins at 14,928. Pearls at 2.2 million. Fans, I'm at 1.2k. I'm a fan of 177 users on YouNow. So top fans is Fatima, Engine, and call her or him Abdura. And my last stream, even though it's been cutting out more than it should, got 21,140 likes. So social media, check me out on Facebook, DERICKKEARLE10, Twitter, hashtag DERICKKEARLE10, Instagram, hashtag DerekCurly4040, and YouNow, like I said, DerekCurly_90401 is my user. TikTok, I have 2, and I didn't put the other one, but I did make another one. So this one's Derek.Curly3. I think the other one is I don't know why I did put them there. So that was going to be at Derek Curly, or D Curly, DKEARLEY 2024. Real quick. Okay. I'm always going to preface that some of these stories have been done who were somewhat current, but forgive me, okay? The winter has already been exceptional by the San Jose, and with another large storm on the horizon, it doesn't hurt to be prepared. The city and county have put together resources and tips for residents to protect themselves to get relief they need. While the biggest impacts appear to be in North Bay, Coastal Mountains, and Santa Cruz Mountains, and Monterey County, the National Weather Service indicates that this week's storm may dump 1.5 to 3 inches of rain on the South Bay. All 9 Bay Area counties are under flood watch through February 2nd at 4 a.m. More news. Sesame Street. This is for Miss Lena. Sesame Street 2024, February 29, 2024. 2 hours and 21 minutes. Big Bird and his Sesame Street friends are mysteriously expelled from their neighborhood, finding themselves in Manhattan. They team up with the plucky History Show host Sally Hawthorne, aka Annie Hathaway, who's on a quest to save her show and prove that Sesame Street actually exists. With obstacles created by the evil mayor, with reason of his own for keeping Sesame Street hidden from the world. That's about it. So then PG&E is President of California. PG&E is giving millions of dollars to help customers pay for the energy bills. The company contributed $55 million to expand the REACH program. The program applies a bill credit to qualified customers with unpaid balances to prevent service disconnections. Officials say around half of the money will go to doubling the bill credit customers can receive from $500 to $1,000. The rest of the money will be made available to a larger number of customers at a later date. Applicants to the program must have an account in their name with the past due balance not exceeding $2,000 and meet specific income guidelines. COVID news. The latest COVID variant is on the rise. It's called NJ.1. It now accounts for at least 20% of the cases in the U.S., but there's no evidence that it causes more severe illnesses. Suing over COVID lockdowns, parents in the UK could sue the government for $145 million for ignoring the impact of draconian lockdowns on children. This comes from parents groups called Us for Them. They claim the government's COVID inquiry, which deemed lockdowns necessary, proportionate, and justified, did not account for the demonstrable harm to children. They demand that this be investigated and qualified as threatened to litigate for it to happen if necessary. So, if you knew, okay, experts are warning against an online trend to take colloidal silver for anti-aging. They said it can lead to seizures, kidney damage, or even turn your skin blue. The group published this letter to Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. They say that the inquiry has been done with predetermined conclusion, and because of this, quote, we each hold serious concerns about the conduct of the inquiry of data and believe the inquiry's approach is now damaging public confidence in its proceedings and by extension any recommendations which might ultimately be made. Here are some examples of types of research not included in the inquiry, which absolutely should be. New research in the British Medical Journal shows that the mask did nothing to help protect children during the pandemic, and that there's no medical bases to support masking children to protect against COVID-19. So why did we do that? And how did it hurt them? A serious inquiry should take that into account, right? And of course, you have to talk about Donald Trump, of course, right? It sure seems like the U.S. wants a civil war, doesn't it? The Supreme Court in Colorado has ruled that former President Donald Trump cannot be included in the ballot in the 2024 election. But there is a big but. The court issued a ruling in the same ruling stayed its own rule pending appeal to the Supreme Court, which we can be about 99% sure will happen. So it's an order that is not intended to be put into place. This is truly baffling move by the judicial body. The justices admit that they are in uncharted territory, and that this case presents several issues of first impression. Y'all think? Lawyer and YouTuber Maya Friel calls this an attempt to be part of the population to do something stupid. He says that if you can't win with reason, baffle them with bullshit. It's hard to see it as anything else. The Colorado Republican Party says that it will withdraw from the primary as a party and convert to pure cause system if this is allowed to stand. So in schools, Sunnyvale residents will vote on a multi-million-dollar bond measure to support local schools facilities this March. Measure C would help the Sunnyvale School District continue facility improvements and multiple locations, which include updating technology and retrofitting old buildings. The measure needs 55% voter approval to pass. If this measure fails, the district will be unable to finish its ongoing plans, such as modernizing Sunnyvale Middle School, which serves more than 1,000 students. Sunnyvale School District serves more than 6,000 students across 10 elementary and middle schools. About 2/3 of Sunnyvale's K-8 students fall within the district, with most other students attending Cupertino Union School District, which is divided among Fremont Avenue, along with upgrades at middle schools. A district statement said bond funding would go toward improving accessibility, expanding counseling facilities, and modernizing technology. Added that the funds will be used to improve and expand in outside learning opportunities, such as adding more school gardens where students can learn about nature, which they have that at Peterson Middle School. My youngest cousin went there. It's really cool. So in Lake County, so preface it, so my grandparents before they passed lived in Clear Lake, and the actual lake is man-made, not like the Pacific Ocean where it's real. So let's continue. Lately, there have been several public meetings cleaning up Clear Lake. If this sounds familiar, it's been a hot topic for years, like over the past 30 years. There have been a number of groups that have wanted to change the lake dramatically, and they range from dredging the lake to a depth of 100 feet and spraying the lake with a herbicide to kill the weeds and algae. Actually, in comparison to the surrounding lakes, the fish have less mercury than Lake Berryessa and Lake Pillsbury. The mercury in the lake comes from the old mercury mines near Rattlesnake Island. It is one of the super fun cleanup on the cleanup list, and a lot has been done so far. Down through the years, there have been a multitude of suggestions to change Clear Lake, and they range from rerouting the Eel River through Clear Lake to flush it out, to threatening the lake with thousands of gallons of aluminum sulfate to rid the lake of algae, and even dredging the lake to a depth of more than 100 feet. While all have sparked interest at the time, they all have failed to occur because biologists and geologists have said that the harm to the environment could far outweigh the benefits. Let's look at the history of the oldest lakes in North America. Clear Lake has been a shallow lake for thousands of years. 20 years ago, an organization called California Association of Lake Bed Management held a 3-day seminar in Lake County for scientists from throughout the state. A number of the eminent scientists who studied Clear Lake said that it had always been considered a shallow and fertile lake. Hundreds of years ago, there were some deep holes in the south end of the lake, but the main body of the lake has always been less than 30 feet deep. As for the algae, while it does present problems during the hot summer months, for most of the year, the lake is relatively free of algae. Actually, some algae is good for the lake because zooplankton feed on the algae and the fish eat the plankton. When Dr. Livingstone Stone visited Clear Lake in 1872, he wrote that during the month of August, the algae was so thick in some areas that you couldn't, that's true, that's really true, push a boat through it. And in those days, very few people lived in the county. There were also little or no agriculture to create runoff into the lake. Also, if you have a pontoon boat, you would get under the pillars. There are more than 130 different species of algae in the lake. There are good species of algae and bad ones. Clear Lake has the highest population of fish in the nation, and many of the species of native fish feed on zooplankton, which in turn feed on algae, and without these types of algae, our fish population would only be a shadow of what it is now. Among plants of the lake, algae and among the least studied. Algae are tiny water plants that cycle normally between the bottom and the surface, floating up and sinking down. During the day, algae generate oxygen within the lake, and at night, and they consume oxygen. Algae are among the oldest living organisms on our planet, going back to at least 2 billion years ago. Without a question, algae are the most important plants on Earth. They generate more than 70% of the oxygen in the atmosphere, and without them, there would be no life on the planet. So, housing. Half of the renters in the United States have found themselves paying more than they can afford, following years of surging rents, but an increase in the construction of multiple unit buildings have boosted the supply of apartments, which is slowly beginning to rein in runaway rents. Nationally, rents declined annually in December for the 8th straight month, according to Renters.com. The median asking rent was $1,713, which was down $4 from November and down $63 from July 2022 peak. However, median rent is still $309 higher than the same time in 2019 before the pandemic. That's a 22% increase. And people have been feeling it. In some places, rents aren't dropping at all. Rent is just increasing at a slower pace. This may come as a relief for the 22.4 million households who, according to Harvard University Joint Center for Housing Studies, pay more than a third of their income in rent. Paying anything above the standard 30% threshold is commonly considered cost burden. What's more, 12 million of those renters are severely cost burdened, which means they're spending more than half their income on housing, which is true. So this is your part 1 of part 2 update for this month. I will do another one. If I don't do it the day that my vacation starts, I'll do it the day of the hotel, I promise. But if you like this video, give me a like, give me a sub. We're only at 33. We were at 35 and we dropped 2 people. But give me a sub, give me a like, give me a share. Check me out on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, whichever one you can find me on. And I hope you like this update. I'll see you soon. Love you. Bye.